Hello guys, how's it going? I'm the Sneezing Monkey and today we're talking about the DayZ Standalone. It's been out now for about 1.5 months and I think it's about time to look back at it and give some opinions and some thoughts where we think it might be going. First of all, let me start with what Dean Hall kind of promised. I remember that before the standalone pre-alpha, we have to keep that in mind, it is a pre-alpha, before it was released, he talked a lot about that he improved the FPS and that he doesn't want frame drops in the cities and all these kind of things. To be honest, playing the mod now, I don't see anything of that. There are still considerable frame drops. If it's not in the cities, then it's somewhere else. And somehow I noticed that especially the areas of the map that the guys modded and where they added new features, those run on extremely low FPS. So I can't really see the improvement there, to be very honest. Generally, my feeling on DayZ and the DayZ Standalone in particular is that it's just a never-ending construction site, right? So before we had the DayZ mod, yes, it was free and yes, it was glitchy, we all know it, but it was never finished. It never came to a point where you can say, oh, okay, that actually runs well. There were a few attempts of it, like I remember one server, it was called GITS, I think, and on there you didn't have loot, like you had a few loot items, but basically you just start with your loadout and then it's pure PvP, and there were no zombies. And on that server the game was running extremely smooth most of the time, not always. That was the mod at that time, I have to say that, but it was running really smooth and it was a great experience to play. However, it seems as soon as you add the 50 players and the loot and the zombies, it all slows down the game and it's basically impossible to play. It not only leads to low FPS, it also leads to glitches. You know, the paths of the zombies can't be calculated correctly anymore because there's too much going on. So that was kind of where we were in the mod when it was finished in that sense and the standalone was released. So obviously the hopes were up. People were really hoping that the standalone would address a lot of these issues. However, so far it didn't. And as I do know that it is just a pre-alpha and it's a release that gives you a million warnings before you join into the game that it's unfinished and you shouldn't play it and you shouldn't buy it and blah blah blah. And that would all be okay if there would be kind of the foresight to say, okay, but in 1 year it will be finished. So if you're one of these people who believes that the standalone will be finished at some point, then I have to tell you that I do not think so. I disagree. I think there are too many implications and you could see it already in the original mod. Like I just said, you had zombies, loot, and 50 players, and the server was most of the time, with very few exceptions, unplayable. It was glitchy, there was lag, stuff didn't pop up, you needed to relog all the time. It was just a terrible experience. So what does Dean Hall do now with the new mod? He tried to improve certain things and I'm sure he did a good job and you can feel it here and there that he improved stuff, but mainly he wants to bring in a lot of RPG elements, right? He wants people to craft things. You have a magazine but no bullets, so you can't do anything with it. You wanna take somebody's blood and inject it in someone else. You need to test the blood type first. You need to assemble a blood bag, and an injector needle, and everything has been just made more realistic on one side, but also much more complex. So what does that tell me? Looking back, we already have just a simple combination of like loot, zombies and players already led to an unplayable server. So do you really believe that when there are 50 servers one day, at the moment it's limited to 40, I know, but when there are 50 people on a DayZ standalone server, plus all these items, plus the crafting system, plus more zombies, I think they want to have 10 times as many zombies as they have at the moment, like that's kind of their ambition. How would that ever be playable? I really don't think so. If it would be running on a different engine, I kind of would be open for it. I wouldn't be so radical in my opinion. But considering that it is still running on an edited version of the Arma 2 engine, I just don't see how that would ever come to a state that it is actually ready. I'm sure that Dean Hall and IO Interactive in a year or maybe 2 from now, they're going to say, oh, okay, that's it. The game is finished. We leave it like this. It will not be finished. I think the game will never come to a state where it is bug-free, where the zombie paths are correct, where the loot system works properly, where the crafting system works, where you don't have 10 FPS in cities. All these things, I do not think it will ever come to that point. So I have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in DayZ at the moment, and I nearly hope that someone picks up the concept of this really raw survival game, and takes it into a different engine. I do not know what engine that would be, but we've seen, you know, even the engine of Skyrim did a fabulous job in creating this really detailed and amazing, huge open world. So maybe it is about taking an engine like this and trying to put it, you know, in that kind of format. But I think as it is now, running on the Arma engine with the ambitions that Dean Hall and IO Interactive have at the moment, this game will just never come to an end. It will always be a construction site. There will always be glitches. And, you know, if it would be just tiny things, that's fine. But I had it several times that friends of mine had a fully looted, leveled character, and then they just go upstairs in a building and they just glitch through the floor and die for no particular reason after like 5 hours of looting. And then it's like, oh yeah, but you knew it's a pre-alpha when you bought it. Yeah, but that's just, you know, kind of unacceptable. And I hope to be proven wrong. You know, I hope that Dean Hall gets it sorted and that he nails it, and that in a year from now we're gonna have a game that, you know, only has small glitches every now and then, because that's fine, I can forgive that, but that works as an overall experience. So if we get that, I will do another video and correct it, and I hope that I have to do that, but to be honest, I really don't think so. So it would be great to get your guys' opinion. What do you guys think on DayZ? Will it ever come to a point of finish? When will that be? What needs to be addressed? What are your major issues of the game? You know, how much do you play the standalone? All these are questions that I really would love to hear from you guys about. So just let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me. That's really all I wanted to say in this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like. You can subscribe to my channel. That would be appreciated. There are a few more links like Twitch in the description. If you're interested to see more, then just follow those. Thanks guys for watching, and I see you guys next time. Bye.